And because there is so much more to dig into in this trial, we now want to bring in ABC News contributor Brian Buckmire, who is also with the Law and Crime Network. Brian, thanks for joining us. Let's start right out of the gate. The prosecution showed that disturbing video of Ahmaud Arbery's final moments, and disturbing to the point that even one juror covered her eyes when this was being played. We've heard so much about how this is a nearly all-white jury. What do you think is the prosecution's strategy here, potentially playing to their emotions?
So absolutely. So what we're taught, at least in law school, there's three different ways that you can really convey information to a jury. That's through logic, ethics, or emotion. And I think what the prosecution is doing is starting off the first step of this case with that emotion, playing to the part that they let them know why we're here. Now, the prosecution in their opening statement said that we're here because of assumptions as well as what they called driveway decisions. And those assumptions and driveway decisions led to this video. They're going to start off with the climax here, that being Ahmaud Arbery on the ground when the first officer responds with his body-worn camera, seeing him with 3 shots after the shotgun went off, one of them hitting him in the torso and also in the hand. Another one actually missed him, according to what they said, and the third one hitting him under the left armpit. And what we're seeing is the aftermath of that. Ahmaud Arbery on his stomach, then rolled onto his back, and as you said, one of the jurors couldn't even look, had to cover their eyes, and Wanda Cooper-Jones, the mother of Ahmaud Arbery, actually gave out a deep and emotional cry during that time. And what we also heard was Ahmaud Arbery's father stepped out of the courtroom at one point in time as well. This seemed to be emotional for all parties in this case. And what I think the major thing is for the prosecution is thinking about the timing. It's Friday. The jury's going to have to sit with that emotional viewing of that body for the rest of today, Saturday, Sunday, and I think the hope is that the emotion stays with them and that the defense cannot crawl their way back into this case to try to disprove any elements of this case.
I mean, that video is difficult to watch even if you have no connection to this case. Certainly cannot blame Ahmaud Arbery's family. Of course, playing to emotions, Brian, can go both directions. I'm sure that the defense is going to be doing similar things with their arguments. What do you think they are hoping is going to resonate with these jurors?
So the defense actually started off with a little bit of emotion. We heard from Bob Rubin, the defense attorney for Travis McMichael, who started off with the opening statements, talking about Travis McMichael as a father of a 3-year-old, as well as a U.S. Coast Guard. He even brought up the fact, which was interesting, because it kind of plays to the idea that Travis McMichael may need to testify, because a lot of the points that he brought up the idea that Travis McMichael himself, when he took out that 12-gauge Remington pump shotgun, thought of his younger child at the time, thinking that he was going to die in that moment, even though Ahmaud Arbery, we all know, didn't have a weapon on him. The defense brought up the emotional aspect that days prior to that February 23rd, 2020 emotional day where Ahmaud Arbery died, that Travis McMichael actually confronted Ahmaud Arbery in the proximity of that construction site and believed, because he says Ahmaud Arbery reached for his left pocket, that he had a weapon, trying to give a justification for why they followed him with weapons, and also that emotional aspect of Travis McMichael fearing for his own life, something that's going to play into the self-defense aspect for the defense.
Do you think Travis is going to testify? Would that surprise you?
It wouldn't. I actually would assume that he would. Now, I don't say this for most cases. As a public defender myself, I say that, hey, you're never going to know that my client is going to testify until the final moment. But the reason why I'm thinking, that it shocked me, at least when I listened to the opening statement, that Travis McMichael could testify is because a lot of the information that the defense attorney, Bob Rubin, brought in is information that only Travis McMichael can testify to himself. We often say as defense attorneys, you want to undersell and overperform. So the defense attorney is coming out and saying that Travis McMichael is standing there with that 12-gauge shotgun and Ahmaud Arbery is running at him from 20 yards away, and that Travis McMichael is thinking about his 3-year-old son at that time. The only way he's going to get that into evidence and not be an argument, in my mind, is if Travis McMichael testifies. If he doesn't testify, then he oversold this case and underperformed, and that would be a deadly combination. I don't see how he gets all these arguments in without Travis testifying.
I mean, there's already so many eyes on this case, but that testimony especially would have everyone watching. I am curious, Brian, we talked about this video and how emotionally charged it is. Both the defense and the prosecution were stressing that it doesn't tell the whole story.
Absolutely. So the death of Ahmaud Arbery cannot just be told in the few moments and when he's lying there on the ground. for both the defense and the prosecution, they're going back some days, even months prior to the incident. For the defense, you heard in their opening statements that this was a community that was rife with petty thefts and trespassing and even some burglaries. What I found interesting, though, was Travis McMichael's defense attorney said that some of the neighborhood kids would come into the construction site and steal planks of wood so they can drive their bikes over. It appeared that Larry English was okay with that, but the Ahmaud Arbery, who was seemingly just perusing through, they had some issue with that. I think that's something the prosecution can really hang their hat on.
I mean, so much of these arguments, Brian, sound like societal arguments rather than this just individual case. This is going to be something that so many people are tuning into. We appreciate your insights, Brian Buckmire.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.